And arise, arise, the church arise.
To me, the gospel is a very simple concept. It's an easy thing to understand. Anyone who just looks at the world, looks around, can tell that things aren't as they should be. And it's not just people making bad choices, it's bad things happening, unexpected things. People that, even when we know that something's bad for us, we can't help but do it anyway. It's easy for anyone to look around and see that there's just something wrong with the world. You know, the crazy thing is, even though we know there's something wrong with the world, we like to pretend like there isn't a right and a wrong. We like to say that, you know, your truth might not be my truth, but, you know, the truth is there is an absolute right and an absolute wrong, and if anyone disagrees, just cut in front of them in line. And if they say, hey, you can't do that, say, why not? So we know that there's this absolute law of right and wrong. We know that things like love, generosity, respect, honor, humility, we know these things are somehow righteous and good, and things like greed and selfishness and anger are bad. And so if there's this absolute law, there must be this lawmaker, this judge, someone or something who is seated in power, who's saying these things are right and these things are wrong. Now, the problem with that is, if there is an absolute judge, if there is someone above declaring what is right and wrong, I know that I've done so many wrong things in my life that I know that if I ever were to sit in judgment, I would be found guilty. And so what the gospel really is an explanation of how God is redeeming the world to himself. That even though we are all guilty and unrighteous, he has offered us a pardon. He has offered us a path of forgiveness. Because of what Jesus Christ has done, dying for our sins, paying our penalty, it's like if you owe the bank a whole lot of money, and you know there's no way you'll ever be able to pay them back, and someone else walks up to you and writes a check for the amount that you owe and hands it to you. That's what Jesus Christ has done for us, and the only real choice we have to make in this life is whether or not we're going to accept that payment. Jesus Christ has died for every single person in the world. The question of whether they accept and believe in him is a question of whether or not they are going to cash that check. The price has already been paid, and all we have to do to accept it. I wish there was more rules and regulations maybe to make it sound more articulate, but that's basically it. There's a free gift of God for redemption, for forgiveness. All we have to do is accept it. There's no other stipulations. There's no other requirements. The gospel really is that simple.